GM. What is that?
Whoa.
How about those? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I do hear that.
What is that?
Check your cable. This cable. Check your.
Is that my headphone?
Check your cable going into the phone, maybe.
Did it go away when I unplugged that?
No.
No, I don't know what that is.
Let me check my. That was me.
Beep.
That went. Did you lose that?
No, I still hear it. What is that? Uh-oh. We're having some technical difficulties here.
You gotta fix that sousaphone.
Kane, what are you doing to us, man? You jinxing us, bro?
Well, it's not me. First of all, you
Hold on, I think it might
with the AI version of a Drake song.
Yeah, that was it, Jake. Whatever that was.
It's Chris's computer.
Chris.
Just muted him.
It's always Chris.
Typical Chris, bro.
That's all good. Well, right, Offensive Someplace said, what is that, a car honk? Yeah, Chris, it might be your headphones or something. I don't know. So just getting hacked. I did see that actually.
Exactly.
I did see that. Did you see that this morning? That somebody found
getting hacked, a 69% attack, which I thought it's like, really 69% attack? Is that really what was happening? But yeah, supposedly 69% of the nodes on the network went down or went offline or some, I don't know exactly. But yeah, but it's still running, so blockchain tech is it's not easy, man. It is not definitely not set it and forget it technology. You need developers to maintain these things or they eventually will die. There's no doubt about it. And but Doge has some amazing people, so yeah.
Well, you know what hasn't died? It's Counterparty. Still alive, right. Still well. Kane's been around for a long time. Kane, I think everyone in this, or everyone who joins the show, is very familiar with you. I'm excited. I think this is our first ever featured show with you. I'm excited to have you on stage, man. How have you been?
I've been good. Thank you. And Counterparty is still alive and well. I this was supposed to be built on there, and I'm really happy that I didn't. If I did, I know. Anyone who knows me, I love Counterparty. That's why I got the pirate flag on my thing and the whole hoose, right? But I told them, and I told both sides of the argument. I said, listen to me very carefully. Last time when I dropped my Bitcoin infused album, which again, no one's fucking, I got fucked. And, that made me very sad. But I got over it. I dealt with it. And I aired out my grievances and blah, blah, blah. I was like, if I would have went out on a limb and trusted y'all and built this there, and in the middle of this, you're forking again, I'd be in the middle of the street in tight white underwear with a gun in my hand like Walter White. I'd be losing my mind right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm losing my mind anyway. I'm losing my mind just on logistics and trying to run a project and like every founder. But by the way, let me tell you something. I thought founder was the corniest shit in the world to be a founder. Right. I still think it. But now I at least understand why a lot of those guys have gray hair. I get it. I understand.
Bro, building a business is not easy in this space. It is exhausting. It comes down to problems and solution, identifying what the problem is and coming up with a solution to be able to progress forward. It's really for the most part.
That's what you told yourself? You tell yourself that? You've mentioned that like a mantra? That's what you say in the mirror in the morning? When you stare at yourself with bloodshot eyes and bags?
Yeah, you wake up tired and you say, what is the fire that needs to be put out immediately? And then you begin assessing from that way.
This is masochism. I think that there should be like some sort of an anonymous blind poll taken, and let's figure out exactly how many people are good founders that also like getting their Yambo stepped on by a lady of the evening.
Well, that's why the best.
Because I feel like there's a high overlap in the Venn diagram. You like pain,
dude. That's why. I mean, literally, there's a great quote from Peter Thiel, who's like, basically, autistics make the best founders because they disassociate their emotional state from, you know, their goals and their ambitions and all the rest of it. They're able to somehow disassociate it, because normal people, it's almost impossible to deal with it on an emotional level. You're getting brutalized, especially in crypto, almost on the daily, you know, because price goes up and price goes down on the daily, and you are going to get brutalized on the daily. It's yeah.
So Kane, tell us this then. This will be a great way to start. You know, this is you're transitioning, you know, from you know, an artist to more of a creator with this project. What would you find was the big differentiator between everything from the past and this larger project or behemoth that you've taken on?
Less moving parts gives me a sense of purpose and happiness. It also means less money, but there's less shit that can go wrong. It's like a sundial. You know, everyone's not gonna like it. So, you know, but that's how I told time. I use the sundial. And I like my sundial. I'm very good at the sundial. The sundial is what I refer to internally in the crews, nickel bags in the park. I take a song, I put it in a picture. It's a lot of work that goes into the kind of art that I make, because I make AI, but I make it stupid, so I make it like harder than it has to be, and I cut stuff up with Microsoft Paint, and I'm a Nimrod, but I make a piece of art that's really all on me. That's just how hard I feel like working on it, and then I tell people about it, and I put it up for sale. It was so easy. It was the greatest thing ever. It's so amazing that I could do that. And you know, you don't make tons of money because I'm not that famous, but it was all right. And now you have an idea, you figure out how much of that idea is reasonable or even possible. Then you go about the art of trying to build it. And I don't build anything, you know, Rad, the rest of the smart guys build stuff. So you got to wait for them to finish talking to each other in Elvish or, you know, whatever language that is. And then when they're done having the mind melds, you have to figure out a way to deploy it. And like, it's a lot. Everything is 19 steps.
Yep.
Everything. Nothing is what you think it is. And then it's like, hey, why don't we do this? And I'm like, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself? Because we can't even get the regular shit working. So no, we're not adding a spoiler to a car with no engine.
Wait, are you telling me
blockchain
technology is a little bit clunky, bro? Is that what you're saying to me right now?
No, what I want to do is I want to send an open letter to Shannon and say that every time I've asked you for something, you should have told me to go fuck myself. That's what I would have done. You should have said, yeah, go fuck yourself. That would have been the kindness that I deserved for asking for things. I'm literally like, I'm the reason, and I talked to Rad and a few of the boys, and it's like, the reason I'm sitting in this chair is because I don't want to sit in the chair. The guy who wants to sit in this chair is weird and power trips and ego trips, and he really wants to put founder on a laminated business card with, fucking New Times Roman font and whatever other stupid shit that goes through his dumb nugget. I just want to have fun with my friends, man. I don't want to do all this, but I'm a worrier. So I measured 87 times before I let you pick up a bandsaw. I don't like for us to be in a position to look foolish, and like best laid plans of mice and men. There's nothing you can do. You're going to look foolish a bunch of times regardless, but mitigating that is important.
So
and the end user is important.
Why choose to go to Ordinals rather than just do Counterparty, which you were obviously already familiar with? I mean, it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't the reason why you did it. What was the reason at the time you decided to do it on Ordinals? Because they just put a fucking hand grenade in my birthday cake. Oh, really? So it was the Counterparty fork discussion and all that that got you to.
Well, you got to remember, man. I'm a superstitious villager. I'm a small person, so there's certain things that I look at wrong, but that's the way I see them. Yeah. I look at things like mountains that are Mack trucks. So when someone jumps in a mountain and drives it away, I go, "What's going on?" Because in my world, that's a mountain. I look at certain things like they're immovable, immutable. They can't be fucked with. So when I go, oh, I was wrong. Okay, well, now take the new information into consideration. What do? Well, we can build it on Counterparty, and we could have built it on Counterparty. But then there's the problem of liquidity. Forget about random lightning striking, which it fucking funny enough it did.
Right.
Liquidity is an issue because we need people to really build the thing we want to build. We need to build it. I mean, and obviously building it on Ordinals is a fun flex, but the reason it took as long as it did wasn't because of, the thing or me or anything. It was just logistically, how do we build on Ordinals? It's not possible. And, fortunately, I have a Marty McFly dev, which is rad, Bitcoin Audio. And if you call him chicken or say something can't be done, he won't be able to sleep until he does it. So the figuring out the way around the hard stuff was really important. And I mean, how do I put this? On-chain meta, and you guys have heard me argue about on-chain meta before. On-chain meta, it's very easy for me personally to be dismissive of it because it's a Lamborghini, it's a Ferrari. I'm 6'3", I'm fat, I can't fit in that car. When I was finished with Reaganomics, it was 9 gigs. That can't even go on OpenSea.
Yeah.
Like I have metadata problems that are bigger than like ETH can't solve my shit. So an Ordinal is just like, all right, yeah, sure. Yeah, I could buy a Lamborghini, but I can't fit in it. What, my wife gonna drive it? It looks nice in the driveway. Fuck out of here. I can't do nothing with that. So it was easy to be dismissive of it. But where you store your metadata is important. Also, a lot of artists would like to be on Ordinal. They're doing inscriptions on Tezos now. I love Tezos. I'm a Tezos guy. That's retarded. They're doing inscriptions
on Tezos forever, man, until Tezos stops in 10 years, man.
No, I don't think Tezos is going nowhere. I just think, what I look at it like when I was a young stockbroker, I was a poor kid, like a super duper El Poro kid. But I was a young stockbroker, and my mom got me cufflinks from JCPenney. And hey, buddy, cut that out. That's why we locked the ice maker, because you want to flood the house. Go play with your toys. So I was a young stockbroker. My mom got me some cufflinks from JCPenney. I did not know what a French cuff was because I was a poor kid. So I cut holes in my JCPenney dress shirt to fit the JCPenney cufflinks my mom gave me. That is an inscription to me.
That's inscriptions.
Yeah.
Bro, that's
the
awesome.
problem ain't Ordinals. The problem is people want to do Ordinals, but there's a paywall. It's a reverse debtor's prison. Right. 1, you can't figure it out, and it's not like anything else. 2, you can't afford it. 3, it's a lot of money for the attempt.
Yeah.
Like it's 15 grand for the attempt. That's fuck your what you think you're gonna sell or whatever. That's just to try. 15 grand out the bucket. These are people who are bitching about $300 gas fees. So yeah, a solution to that problem is not solving on-chain meta, because on-chain meta isn't something to be solved. The high cost is a friction barrier. It's a good thing. Keeps bullshit away. Well, it should, but as we all know, it doesn't. Yeah. But and I could be bullshit too, so it's fine. But I saw it and I was like, well, if we can do it, I think that would be a lot of fun. And also, what a way to have another notch in the belt of my hypocrisy knows no bounds. Let's make a fucking Ordinal. I wanted to inscribe dust. It was going to cost me $170,000. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it,
bro. Come on,
so,
man.
Kane, tell us what you were inscribing, or like what's causing this so expensive? What type of data is this? What's the what is the whole premise of the project?
Oh, buddy, come on, relax. You've been quiet all morning. Sorry, my son's ironically loud. Yeah. So the reason is because when you step to Ordinals, well, most people, when you step to Ordinals, especially for the first time, you don't necessarily do it smart. You look at how you would make something everywhere else and then try to make that there. And that's just not the way that you can do that. You have to think around the problem. So I'm looking at big ass, wave files, the highest sound quality, obviously. How do we put this on Ordinals? And it's like, okay, well, here's a series of 4 megas. you're gonna spend every bit of money you ever thought you'd make. Or you can get creative. So what we did with this was we got creative. We built something that's really cool, and we gave people. We didn't cut corners on the Ordinal. I want the Ordinal to be something that's the coolest thing people have seen at the very minimum that day. And when people look at it and go, "Oh, well, that's pretty dope," you got to give them more than just the things. You have to think outside the box. So what we did with the Ides of March was, pardon me, I'm getting over a cold. What we did with the Ides of March was we made these Ordinals that look like vinyl records. And they're nice looking. There's rare ones that are made of marble, and it's really cool. But when you flip them over, there's a sampler. A 12-pad sampler that you can play with on Magic Eden, where it's like, and you can chop up the song right there. And that's a new thing that people haven't seen before. Speed it up, slow it down, change the BPMs. You can do all of that. And that's kind of the beginning of, hey, here's a fun thing that we have that's 100% on chain, not going nowhere, decent, file size. There's rarity, so you might flip it over and get the Ides of March song. You might flip it over and get a sub 1500 from Rare Skrilla when he was inscribing the Silk Road album. You might flip it over and get Ghostface. Like we put some dope rarity in there just to make it good. But that's because you can't duck the on-chain meta part. Just because it's heavy and expensive, you kind of got to pay the troll toll with that. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, makes sense. You're creating something that's essentially programmable music. Are you aware if there's anybody else who's done something like this? I know Skrilla's kind of done this. It was more just like audio, but you're really just taking this to the next level by adding some additional kind of utility and functionality. My question would be like, why did you decide to go into this direction? Is it because you were just curious and interested, or you're trying to do something new and innovative?
No, you said it. Skrilla did something like this. And since I just followed him around like a kid, the 2 times he did it was on a platform called Async. And I was involved in both of those. So when he did the Money Badger in 2021, and then when he did Grand Rising in 23, I was a part of both of those projects. And I like the async model. I like generative music. I think it's a cool thing to do. The issue that I have with it wasn't that it was generative. The issue that I had with it is that come here, buddy. Come over. The issue that I had was if I make one, and so this just to give an example, this song has me, Raz Kaz, Money B from Digital Underground, Numbskull from the Loonies, Homeboy Sandman. They're really amazing. Bitoshi Blakamoto, who invented Bitmap, he raps. So you got like some really cool stuff on this, right? The async model says if you mint one, you'll get me, Raz Kaz, Money B. Or you'll get Money B, Raz Kaz, Sandman. And you go, damn, I didn't get Kane. I want to get a Kane one. Well, cool. Buy another one. Which is good for me, but it's kind of whack for the end user unless your target end user is a bunch of whales who buy 50 of them. That's not music. Music is a pizza thing, not a gold thing. So I made the Ordinals the gold thing, and the music I made the pizza thing. By that I mean this: if I gave you a bag of gold, the last thing you're probably thinking about doing is sharing it with all of us. You're gonna hoard that. You're gonna store that somewhere. You're gonna tuck that away. Pizza, you give somebody 2 pizzas. Hey, anybody want a slice? I got 2 fucking pizzas. Music is a pizza thing. You should share pizza. It's at its best usefulness when you share it. Gold is at its best usefulness when you tell people to get the fuck away from it and pull a gun out. So the Ordinal, we gave you all the rarity and stuff to chase, but the music, we give you everything. So you can literally change the beat, change who raps on it. You can do all of that in the player. We don't give you one version. We give you all versions.
Wow. So I have it here pulled up on the live stream. I've been going through your pin post. I kind of really just dives into everything that's happening. First, it's going to be available today on Magic Eden. So I'll just make that aware.
That will not happen.
Oh, it's not today anymore?
It's Tuesday, right?
Yeah, it's not today anymore.
Okay.
So
By the way,
unfortunately,
it's your birthday too, dude.
Today is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yo,
Happy
I saw the
birthday.
bubbles on
12/12/24.
that's beast.
Nice, man.
Yeah. If I was turning 48, that would be some live mimetic shit, right? But I'm not. I am not. I'm 43, 42? One of those numbers.
Congrats, man.
I'm born in 81. Yeah, one of you do math. I don't know. I don't know how old I am.
Oh man. We're all just as many times we circled the sun, as I like to say. So
time's a construct. You're as old as you feel. I'm still very immature.
Sometimes that could be.
But I wanted to. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I wanted to touch on this. That it's not today, and that's largely my fault. I was on a cruise for 2 weeks. I thought that stuff was done. It wasn't done. The Magic Eden thing, like we're doing it on Magic Eden, and I could say no right now and just pull the plug on that and drop it on like Ordbot or one of the other services that are available. But I wanted to do it on Magic Eden. I wanted it to be an official project done on Magic Eden. Not even really for the marketing. I just, in my head, I'm like a really vain woman with the idea of my wedding. And I want there to be a pony. I don't need to ride it. I want it there. I want that pony to be there so I can look at it as it gallops. So I want this to be on Magic Eden, and just some of the logistics of getting that done. Obviously, they're very busy right now with the airdrop, but I think this should be out in about a week. As soon as I have a definitive date, again, I'm going to just post it, but whatever. But I hate being wrong, especially with dates and looking foolish, but it's the only way for me to see this through to fruition to the best of its ability, not the best of what my ego wants, is to just say, hey guys, we got to push the date back. And that's more founder shit that I'm not used to. I don't have a lot of like history working that muscle. I never do leg day. This is leg day shit. This is leg day founder shit that, hey, my timeline was wrong. So now I just have to be wrong. Fucking sucks. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I completely feel it. So I'm just breaking this down in the most simple terms here. So basically what a user is purchasing is your music. It's an advanced music player and sampler. And then inside of it is unlockable content in the form of playable characters. I have that correct?
You're close. Here's the easiest way to describe it, which I have been doing a terrible job of. The Ides of March is 4 things. It's very, very simple. It's 4 things. The first thing is the Ordinal. The Ordinal is where you have your rarity. There's 2,100 of them. They're very, very nice. We did our best to make them as cool and unique as possible. There's 1,680 commons. But even in the commons, there's 4 different kinds of them, just to give you some variety. There's 420 rare ones. There's 5 different kinds of rare ones, again, to give you variety. And when you flip them over, you'll find all your rarity and thus and so forth. That's the Ordinal. Then if you come to inscribe.audio, connect because we're building literally an entire site. So we've built most of it. It's pretty much done. When you go to inscribe.audio, connect your wallet, and you have the Ordinal, you will be able to unlock this entire world we built. That world, just so we're very clear, is on Arweave. Arweave is not Bitcoin. I want to be very clear what the delineation line is. The Ordinal, everything on chain. And if you're on chain maxi and you do not want to delve around with the dark magic of off-chain property, then please, by all means, save your soul. I would not want to be guilty of corrupting you with fun and smiles. Stay pious, stay hard, bricked up. Don't change. And listen, I'm being facetious, but we still made a dope fucking Ordinal. Like, it's still cooler than 95% of the shit in your wallet. So that's not, I'm not being funny with that. We made a badass Ordinal. So if you want to stay right there, cool. if you don't mind, partying a little bit, come on over to inscribe.audio, connect your wallet. Everything that we put over there is in the ordinal. It's not like we're showing you some different shit that exists in a different realm. It's all in the ordinal. It's all unchangeable. Arweave is what people think IPFS is. It's writing with a tattoo gun. It can't change. It won't change. It's very, very good.
How did you
The
select
200-year
Arweave,
roadmap.
and what made you decide Arweave versus IPFS?
Because if I'm going to be honest, and this is where I had to talk to Arweave, and I was like, hey, I'm going to probably say some things, and I just want to make sure you guys are cool with it. Because IPFS is fake. It's not what people... It isn't what people think it is.
Tell me.
A lot of that shit's running off my computer. Like, yeah, I'm hosting it myself. So what happens when I bust out of the space or I get rugged or wrecked or drained? How many people do you know hit a drainer because they were frothy in the loins, clicking around on Telegram, lost a bunch of shit coins, and now they don't want to play no more? Do you really want the future of your metadata to be based on how I feel? No, you do not. So that's the problem. AWS, really, really great. But that comes with a monthly bill, like a fucking downtown easy storage. Same with Pinata. That's a problem. You don't want to base your metadata on my financial stability. Trust me. Talk to T-Mobile. They'll tell you about me. I'm not a good risk.
But don't you think you're doing the same with Airweave?
Arweave?
Yeah.
No. You pay one time and it's up forever.
Yeah, but until
they have a 200-year roadmap. They don't sell hats. They don't sell hats. They don't sell T-shirts. And I look at Arweave like a mafia bank.
Right.
Fake rares, 6529, counterparty assets. Yeah. That's nice too. But Apple Media, they're a pro-democracy newspaper out of China. When during COVID, the Chinese government, especially in Hong Kong, were beating people in the streets and like really doing wild stuff, they reported on all that. They got news that the government was going to raid them. They uploaded their entire archive to Arweave. 2 days later, their front door gets kicked in. They burned, broke, seized, confiscated all their equipment, but they couldn't do shit about it because it was on Arweave. Arweave's been in front of Senate. Like when I talk about them, I sound like an Arweave maxi, and a little bit I am.
That's a
because
cool.
I think that they're good.
I like hearing the different viewpoint.
I'm gonna go on with one more.
Yeah.
IPFS, you're in there playing for the love. You ever see somebody who really don't have no followers on Twitter, but they tweet mad crazy just into the void, just doing it for the love of the game?
Twitter.
Yeah. Then you see a fucking influencer space where people are literally getting paid to be here. That's the difference between Arweave and IPFS.
Okay.
Arweave rewards their miners. They get paid in R token. AR token is not a shit coin. It's $27. It's on it's on Coinbase. It's a real thing. And they are 100% a safe bet in my opinion. And if we're stacking them up, no pun intended, I trust them more than stacks.
Bro, you're going after
No. I'm not dissing stacks. I'm just saying they don't have outside interests.
Yeah, I get it.
I like my drug dealers. I don't like my drug dealers that also rap on the side. I don't want to hear my drug dealer kicking a freestyle. I want you somewhere getting better drug prices. I want you cutting up coke. I want you getting crazy.
My only thing with IPFS, and correct me if I'm wrong, but IPFS, it's kind of like, who am I talking? Oh, we're talking like with Joe Looney, right? And Joe's like, well, I like having the images and the data stored on my computer, right? If I'm a collector, I have it on my computer. And therefore, in theory, with IPFS is that, okay, say you sell to, 500 collectors. If any of them store your files for your drop on one of those computers, therefore all IPFS has that, right? So it's, in theory, you're looking for, as long as one person maintains it, it's maintained for IPFS, rather than, thinking of a system that requires, payment, miners, a centralized, team keeping it all functioning.
I'll answer that question two ways. And by the way, thank you guys. This is all I've wanted to do with this project since I fucking built it. I wanted to talk to people like y'all who grill me on my shit. Something pretty.
Yeah, well, we know, dude. There's no perfect in this industry. It's choosing best.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
And don't pull punches. I love this. It's like Emblem vault, baby. Sorry. I get very worked up. So the answer to your question is one. Shouts to Joe Looney. I love Joe Looney. But Joe Looney also says the token is the art.
Yeah. Don't go there, bro. That's untouchable. We're not allowed to talk about that.
What? Listen, I believe. Yo, listen, I'm a child of all that shit. Yo, I believe all that.
Yeah.
You be forgetting. I come from that. All I knew was these guys. So all I know was the things they said, and I believe everything because I'm impressionable. So the token is the art. But if for 1 minute the token didn't have to be the art, what's the next best thing to it? That's going to be an ordinal. Well, okay, so if the token isn't the art for 4 seconds and we're not rich, what's the next best thing to it? Arweave. And it's not close.
It's interesting you say ordinals, though, because I would say we have some stamp people in the audience. Did you consider doing stamps? Was that in the realm of possibility, or because you were just anti-counterparty and that kind of thing? You were just out.
No. I wasn't anti-counterparty. I was pro making money. Well, I'm not being a dick. I'm being honest. I mean, I hate to be saying the quiet part loud guy, but like when I say ordinal, and the stamp people won't like this part, I'm just including y'all in with that. So, op return, witness that, whatever part you feel like graffito tagging, I'm just saying, if it's not the token is the art, inscribed onto Bitcoin one way or the other is, I guess, the next, if we're going to say the token isn't the art for 10 seconds, and then if you don't have the money to do that, then the next best thing is Arweave. And again, I like people who are singular focused. If you gave Arweave $5 million, they're going to just figure out how to store things for longer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make t-shirts. I asked. They don't make hats. They don't have merch. I love merch. I love tchotchkes. If you give me any kind of fucking some teacups or whatever, I'll rock that shit. I asked them, I said, hey, I love you guys. They said, Kane, we know you do. But we don't care. We store things. That's all they do is store shit. 200-year roadmap. And they're not a blockchain, they're a block weave. So it's a little bit. No, I know.
Whoa,
it sounds like semantics.
Whoa,
it sounds like semantics, but it's true.
Did they put something in your drink in New York City or something at the Arweave conference, bro? I've been using you, bro. They red pilled you.
No. Here's what happened. Here's really what happened with me and Arweave. Back in 2021, everybody was stupid and frothed up in the loins and running around making terrible decisions and lazy minting and shit like that. Yeah. And in 2021, I started doing stuff on Counterparty. And the thing about Counterparty is Counterparty has cultish behavior. So there's not a lot of half measures in people over there. They'll start telling you things like, yeah, you're lazy minting. That's fucking AWS. That's not real. And I said, well, why isn't it real? And they explained it to me. Where's your metadata stored? I don't know. And from that moment, I had to start thinking about where my metadata was stored. And even when I tried to forget about it, now I was minting on Tezos. I learned how to become a visual artist on, and this is the true story. I learned how to become a visual artist on Calumet, which isn't even fucking around anymore. Shouts to Calumet, Chris, very nice guys, a lot of Indians. And I'm making stuff on Calumet, and I said, well, why is Calumet good as opposed to, Object or, any of the other ones? Object didn't even exist yet. It was still a hickanuk. Why do I want to put things here? And they said, well, all of our stuff is on Arweave. And we back it up with Pinata and IPFS. And I said, what does that mean? And they explained it to me. And I said, wow, can I use Arweave? And they were kind of like, yeah, it's kind of complicated. So I took that as a challenge and I learned how to use Arweave in 2022. And I've been using Arweave since 2022 to store a lot of my bigger things, my more important things, all of my fakes, anything I've ever done on Counterparty, because in those things, I had the option of choosing where my metadata was stored. I've been big on this metadata thing for a long time. And again, the token is the art. I'm always going to put my hand up. And when you say I'm going to stand up, Manchurian candidate, token is the fucking art. But in the event that it's not the art, I would like to know that my art is somewhere, because the things that I make are important to me. And the things that I make, even if my collectors don't care, I care. I don't have a lot of those files if, 3 computers from now.
Bro, if
I'm a musician. You know how many songs are gone?
Of course, does it make a sound, bro? I don't think so. Man.
Not if no one buys it.
I don't think it makes a sound.
Well, here's the thing, right? The token can be whatever you want it to be, and consensus is what writes history.
That's right.
A Nakamoto card don't have to have a picture. It's a Nakamoto card, and everyone knows what it is.
That's right.
But I'm not a Nakamoto card. I'm little. I'm small. Not everyone knows me. Not everyone cares. A lot of people don't like me. I say a lot of shit that I probably shouldn't say for a person who's not as famous as some of my friends. I talk a lot. So I better damn well be sure that everything that I'm doing tech-wise stands up to the harshest scrutiny. For people who go, hey, Kane, Ides of March. I heard it's not all on Kane. It's not. Here's all the on-chain parts for you to decide if you still want to play. Yep. And if you don't, I'm cool with that because I get it. But if you do step out from under that, here's what we built. 6 rappers, most of them legendary, and I'm not counting me. I'm not counting Batoshi because no one even knew he rapped, even though the fact that he's rapping is kind of a novelty. Homeboy Sandman was on Stone's Throw. That's Madlib, Peanut Butter Wolf. He's an amazing, accomplished MC. Humpty, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking Digital Underground. Money B's.
Wait, you got the Humpty dude on? Humpty Dance is on the album?
Well, no, that's Shock G, and rest in peace to Shock G. But we got Money B, which is the other member of Digital Underground. Are you looking for his shoes? He's hidden them. Yeah, he's really good. Check his baby jail, because he hid your shoes. Are you looking for your black slipper? Your black slipper is in the guest room. I saw it earlier. I just saw one. I'm sorry. Son's a terrorist. My wife told me. My son's just been
Kane, answer this. So you mentioned that Bitoshi is rapping on the album, and then also in your pin post you said that there is some sort of bitmap related aspect to this. Can you dive into what that is?
Sorry, I've actually spent a really good amount of time trying to dial these talking points in, but I get excited talking to you guys, and then all of it's out the window, all my training. So Ordinal Good, the song is me, Money B from Digital Underground. You ever remember the song, I Got 5 on it? Yep. That's the Loonies. Numbskull from the Loonies is on it. Homeboy Sandman, Razkaz, and of course, Bitoshi Blakamoto is rapping his ass off, might I add. So you only get 3 of the 6 on any particular song. And there's 6 rappers, and there's 4 producers, 13 beats. So once you've picked the 3 you want to rap, you pick and select them. You can then select the beat. And that beat can be a DJ Booman beat. He made a lot of legendary stuff, Baltimore Club, Watch Out for the Big Girls, and dope hip-hop stuff. You can get a rare Skrilla beat. You can get a Shower Shoes beat. Shower Shoes is Skrilla's production partner who does all that dope hip-hop stuff Skrilla does, Benny the Butcher, Uncle John, Rick Hyde, amazing things. Or you can get a Trash Lights beat. Trash Lights is my guy, love him to death, and he mixed and mastered Dust. So you can choose one of 13 different tracks for these guys to rap on, and then you can change them in the middle of the song and just sample through beats. So you can literally figure out the configuration that works best for you. I find putting all the West Coast guys on Skrilla's second beat, it sounds really nice. So you can play around with it, and every time you change the beat, the artwork changes. I made like 12, a bunch of different artworks for the production. So like there's a whole player and a visualizer, and every time you change the beat, the visualizer changes. So then there's, lyrics and, bios and all that shit is in there. Liner notes. For people who like liner notes, we gave you all that. It's not a song. It's not an album, rather. It's a song. It's just a song that you can really have a hand in curating your own listening process. Instead of us giving you a meal, we give you ingredients and let you season to taste. Then there's a sampler that you can take whatever version of the song you like, drop it in a sampler. If you have, I'll just say production equipment, you know what a MIDI player is, it will ask if you want to connect to your MIDI player. And if you say yes, it'll drop whatever version that is into your MP, into your keys, into your pads, whatever it is you're using. If you're like me and have no fucking clue what any of that means, it'll turn your phone or your desktop, tablet, laptop into a miniature production suite. You can chop, sample, cut the record up, and literally make your own version of it. 100% CCO. I do not care what you do with it. Put it in a fucking Heinz ketchup commercial. You owe me nothing.
Wow. Okay. So as I get
last thing.
Good.
Last thing. It's a lot. So last thing is the bitmap. And, please hold your groans. I'm going to say a word. It's going to make you not feel good. Metaverse. Okay. Now we got that part out of the way. A metaverse is a video game with no plot. So they are 99% fucking boring. And anyone who says otherwise is usually lying to you. Bitmap is a metaverse on Bitcoin. But it's really cool. And they're really nice people. And I like them. So what we did was we built an ancient Roman bitmap. And it looks amazing. And it's very Pepe. So you walk in, there's a Pepe Olympian statue of him throwing a discus made of Bitcoin. And it's really fucking cool. You go in, there's Julius Caesar, Pepe with his hand out like he's proclamating. And there's an ape and a Shiba dog dressed like Roman senators about to stab him in his back. We took actual Roman graffiti and put it on the walls next to like Dog Token and Pizza Ninjas and Node Monks and Taproot Wizards and actual ancient Roman graffiti. So we just made this dope homage. But once you've seen it, you've kind of seen it. It takes about 5 minutes. However, what I wanted to do was give you a little bit more staying power. So if you go into the metaverse, into the bitmap, you hit the button, it's in the player, it drops you right there. There's a character in there called the Oracle. You have to find him. It's a physical, actual character. When you walk up to him, you just hit play, and he's going to give you a riddle. If you solve that riddle, the answer to the riddle is a password. Go back to the player, enter that password. It will unlock secret songs, secret artwork, all that stuff in the player.
Interesting. So why choose bitmap? Why is there anything? Is it because of the partnership with Bitoshi, or is there something more to it, like the openness nature of it, that you decided to add a metaverse component to this?
Good question. So the answer to it is kind of twofold, and it's an answer that you're probably a little bit more familiar with dealing with me. Why Emblem Vault? Mm-hmm. I fucking like Emblem Vault, and I like you guys. And you guys are always really nice to me. And I made money because of Emblem Vault.
Let's go.
So I owe. And fuck what anyone ever says. I made money because of Emblem Vault. When I wasn't making money anywhere else in the space, I was ringing the goddamn register because of Emblem Vault. I remember things like that, and that makes me happy. I made money in bitmap. I sold bitmap. I was the top sale in bitmap for a long time. I sold 99. I own 52. So I wanted to give something back to that community. And I like those guys. They're nice people. They're very confusing. I don't know if you ever talked to them before. They're very confusing people. But they're nice. They're dreamer devs. I didn't know how I felt about them at first until I kind of understood what they were. Devs are normally like how you guys are. There's not a lot of colorful language. You're very to the point. Why this is how this goes, and this is what it is. And I like my devs like that. Very blue suit, black suit, red tie, blue tie. Makes me very happy. Them motherfuckers are dreamer devs. So if you ask them what a bitmap is, you can set the phone down and go make a bisque it's going to be, bitmap can be anything. And it's like, well, actually what he said is true. But see, technically what you could really build is, and they're going to just give you ether. And that's why they're still around. They have a hardcore community. And I like things. I like hardcore community people. I like people who don't care what the floor price is. I like people who stay no matter, rain or shine or sleet or snow. They're still huddled up there trying to figure out the best way to scale up and bring more people in. And it's not even like a number go up thing. It's like a technology thing. They're a solid group. And I know that no one knows where anything's going. So all you're betting on in this space is people. Like, I like Nakamigos. I don't know why. I just see them, and they're nice people. I like Node Monks. You know why? Because I see them, and they're nice people. Shouts to JPEG Greg and them. I like people that I can see who are still out here fighting the good fight and putting in a solid day's effort, and they're really community builders. So I made money, and I like them, and I would like to finally do something with my fucking bitmap. I had this thing since. Remember, I got 52. I've had it since they dropped. I didn't buy that on the secondary market. Like I got that early. So how do I do something with it? And this is a fun way to do something with it. Also, I feel like artists got away from metaverse because they got very corny. This is not corny. This is a fun way to use a metaverse to make your project better without doing cringe shit or having to pretend that we're reinventing Second Life, because I'm not. This isn't going to replace Facebook. This is just a fun thing for the drop. And if you're doing drops and you're trying to bring value, I think this is a fun thing to use. It's nice.
So when is the... Is there a date when, if you're throwing like an event in the bitmap piece of land, like what type of construction was built within it? Because it's still fairly new, and actually not familiar with too many teams that have actually went and built something on bitmap.
That would be more of a how the flux capacitates question, which is a little outside of my wheelhouse. I know that there is a limit to what can be put into a bitmap, and we hit that limit. That my guy Metavoxels built the shit out of it. So it's big, it's grandiose. There's music that plays in it, and of course, there's hidden characters. There's some alpha for you. There's more than one oracle with more than one riddle. So, do with that what you will.
Awesome, man. I love that you you just took your pure experience within the Ordinal space over the last 2 years, and then obviously your history with Counterparty and just being truly entrenched in the Bitcoin culture, and you basically just built a full project out of it, right? This doesn't necessarily speak to most projects that are just focused on the number going up. This is something that you highly personalized and has meaning to you, which then you're trying to, you have some sales off of it, but you're not maximizing, the opportunity per se, which most projects do.
Well, the reason for that, just to say, most people can't lift the mountain. The mountain is heavy and it's expensive, and you can't lift the mountain. So everyone who can't lift the mountain tries to go around it. And you can't do that either. The mountain is on-chain meta. People who can lift the mountain are rich or have big VC backing, which is why when you look at some of these projects and you're like, who the fuck are these people? Well, of course you don't know them. They're big VC people. And they're here to sell their wares. They're like a pharmaceutical company. They don't know you. They're not your local pharmacist. That's Bristol Myers, nigga. They're here to make some bread. Heard you people get sick. What's up? And that's the kind of the difference a little bit between Ordinals as a place and other places as a place. This is all one big town to me. Every part of town I go in, I'm still me. So I'm not going to do non-me shit just because I'm in a different part of town. I would like to make this thing as good as possible, but you got to lift the mountain first, and the mountain being on-chain meta. For really rich people, it's not a problem. They just pay what it costs. French Montana put a ordinal together. I think it cost him like 30, 40 grand or whatever. He didn't even sell it. He just did it because he can. No, but he can. He didn't put it. He didn't list it for sale. He just did it because he can. That everyone doesn't have that luxury.
Kane, what is the cost of the mint? What's the supply? Tell us a little bit about the tokenomics.
And this is why I'm happy to do this today. If you want a whitelist, I have a whitelist. Anyone who's here, just hit me up. I have a bunch of room on it for this event, and the whitelist price is 0.00099, so around $100, and the public mint is 0.0015, so around $130, $140. It's not expensive. I wanted to make it inexpensive enough for people to buy one and inexpensive enough for the kind of people who buy 7 to be encouraged to buy 8.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very fair price. I mean, you see some projects have an additional 0 on the end of that. What is the total supply?
2,100.
2,100. Awesome. Cool.
Well,
yeah, I definitely want a whitelist. I know a lot of people do.
Not a problem. I do want to make this point though, for you guys, which is lifting the mountain. The mountain being on-chain meta. If you can't afford to lift the mountain, that don't mean you go stack all your clothes into a pile and call it a mountain. That's alternate script. I'll just say alternate scriptions. It's alt scriptions is what I'm just calling anything not an inscription. Alt scriptions is just fake mountain. It's not real. The real mountain is to figure this out. So what we did was we're going to drive a bulldozer through the base of it. If we do this and this works out, the next time it's a train. If this project works, we have stuff that we did not do for this that we have done already. Like V2, V3 player has a DAW in it. We can make Ableton type shit for Bitcoin. Like we can do crazy things that I'm holding my team back on because I want to have proof of concept. But the idea is to open this up to other artists and let them use it. Like I don't want to, this isn't like, hey, come holla at me. We got the hot crack piff. Nah, I just want to do it and prove it can be done. And then we're going to open this up to other artists and let them use it. Cause that's the way of that's how things work here. That's how things have always worked here. So once we have this thing done and there's a viable audience, yeah, we're going to do it again with some other artists and see how people like those. And we got other ideas to try. Like that's the real reason behind this. Remember we were going to do Bitcoin audio with Dust?
Yep.
But a green banner ain't a green banner no more, is it? Nah, man. But remember, so you were in the room that day. You heard my voice.
Yep.
I was hurt. I'm not a person that like prides himself on showing my feelings publicly. I'm a 90s New Yorker. That shit's weird to me. That shit hurt my feelings. Because all I wanted was a green banner to say that I'm like the other green banners and I'm a part of this club. That was my pirate patch. That's why I put it in my bio. That's why in my Twitter handle, the pirate thing, because I was going to be a pirate. I was going to get my green banner, and then I'm going to be like Rare Pepe and Fake Rare and Danks and all the other guys. I have a thing, and it's real. And even if it's not super expensive or successful and people don't buy it, I'm a part of the club. That meant something to me. That meant the world to me. And it wasn't just for me. I was building Bitcoin Audio, who's my friend, that allowed me to take his name and make a company out of it. And we were going to do a music thing for Counterparty. Remember, that was the whole plan.
Yep, I remember.
That never stops being my goal. After make money, pay bills, take care of my baby who's hiding my wife's shoes, building a thing that artists that I respect and love, not to talk my shit, but Tech from Smith & Wesson isn't nobody. I did his drop. I brought him to Counterparty. I onboarded him my fucking self and showed him this is the way. You don't have to be on tour 180 days a year. You don't have to go to Munich and Amsterdam and Prague and these far off places. where people will still line up for you and come, you don't have to do all that. And he's a renowned artist that doesn't need my help. But at the end of that drop, I said, yo, you ever make money this easy? He's like, hell nah. I don't want to do a cash grab, but when can we do this again? And the fact that he knew what a cash grab was, I was proud of myself. So I did Smith & Wesson. Now I want to do Digital Underground, the Loonies, Razzcats, and Homeboy Sandman. I've got a litany of rappers that know me and trust me. I just need a place to bring them. It's not like I'm bringing them here to shake the cup and do fucking fake GoFundMe with JPEGs or whatever. I'm bringing them here to combine their legacy and legendary talent with this technology, wrap the whole thing in cryptocurrency, and give the end user and collector a dope ass product.
Yeah, man, I support the initiative, and the fact that you put a lot of time in this is, it just shows your commitment to it. Chris, I wanted to see first, is your audio fixed?
Yeah, bro, my audio was messed up.
Let's go, baby.
Actually, sorry about that, boys. But yeah, Kane, this is sick. This feels like the most complete kind of like Bitcoin kind of, or not even just Bitcoin, just kind of like crypto type of music kind of product that I've seen. What do you, and I was talking with the boys earlier before the show. I personally love the Roman Empire. It seems like it's just such a perfect mix. What's good with the art? How much time did you spend on it? How did you land on the Roman Empire theme? Just dive into
man. Like most people in this room, I think about the Roman Empire once a day. I legitimately love history, and I'm one of those history guys, and I fundamentally base. If you listen to my music, it's all in there and shit. So I mentioned Herodotus in a rap song. Like that's yeah. But when you look at Caesar didn't get killed because he lost. I mean, he lost by dying, but he didn't get killed because he lost. He got killed because he fucking won. Everything that I do, especially artistically here, and the reason why I'm never, whatever, I'm not going, y'all know I ain't going nowhere. I love it here. I have no ambition to do Web 2 anything. I'm a crypto artist. I make crypto music. For people who don't like that, they can tell themselves whatever convenient lie in the mirror while they still try to sell fucking crypto art. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. I sell crypto art. I'm a crypto artist. I have no interest in nothing else. This is the only space where I can nerd the fuck out and people don't look at me and laugh. Remember, I did the Red Vineyard, which was the first painting the only painting Van Gogh ever sold. Julius Caesar fucking won, yo. He won everything, but he couldn't. Winning Rome is easy. Can you fucking hold it? Funny enough, his nephew ended up doing it, but how do you hold Rome? You can't hold Rome by walking around telling him to suck your dick. And that's what he was doing. Naming goats and shit to Senate and having fun. Actually, no, that was Caligula. This is fucking another funny guy. But they ended up getting him on the Ides of March, and the Ides of March, the reason they killed him on March 15th wasn't because March 15th is the day Caesar dies. March 15th is the Ides. The 15th is the Ides of any month. And the Ides, being the middle of the month, is when bills are due. So if I borrow money from you, it's like, yo, I'll pay you back. Yeah, pay me by the Ides. So the 15th is when debts are repaid. So they paid him back by killing him on the get your money back day. And I owe the space. So for me, this is like payback for all of what good things have happened for me. Me paying these artists back for making timeless music since the 90s. And me showing other artists in the space that crypto music doesn't not have a place because it can't. It doesn't not have a place because we keep trying to be like PFPs. We keep trying to be like stuff that we're not. And the only way to differentiate ourselves is to stand up and understand that we are another form of rare art. but you have to provide the value. We have to bring the party. You have to give people more you have to bring more to the potluck than you eat. So with this project, I wanted to bring more to the potluck than I ate and show people that I can build cool stuff with my friends, not be a douchebag. I don't have to overpromise and underdeliver. Roadmaps are suckers. I don't have a roadmap. Everything that I've told you exists now, right now. The only thing that we're still working on is the drop mechanics with Magic Eden. Everything is already inscribed, parent-child on rare sats. Everything exists as we speak. The only thing that doesn't exist right now is the drop date with Magic Eden. That's what we're working on right now. And the little wallet thing that I wanted for the site. But other than that, everything else exists because roadmaps are for people who want to sell you a bill of goods. And when it's all said and done, I hope that people can see that a little bit of lore. The Ides of March is also big Bitcoin lore. You know, G Money is somewhere doing the fucking up rock dance. Because he's the one who told me about it originally. He's like, yeah, beware the Ides of March, brother. You know, G Money he's funny. He says things like that. He's an interesting guy. So, you know, it's price action for Bitcoin, but it's also historically relevant. And that's why if you go into the Coliseum in the bitmap, you'll see a Julius Caesar Pepe about to get stabbed in the back by a fucking ape and a Shiba dog. Because that's funny to me.
That's dope. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, this just kind of seems like the most kind of complete kind of, you know, Bitcoin kind of music kind of set category I've seen. And it kind of seems like we're not those scrappy little kids anymore. This seems like it's kind of ready to go mainstream. So props to you, man. This is sick. I'm pumped to get one.
You know what's funny? That's what Robness said. And I'll tell you the thing of why is because I don't get over my skis. When I build something, I think of y'all. I'm not buffing your fender. You know, I'm dead serious. When and this, for those who don't know, I love Emblem Vault. I love it, and you know, I love Emblem Vault a lot. I'll tell them when I'm frustrated with them.
Sure.
And even when I'm frustrated with them, I never dislike them because they build really amazing stuff. So if you're going to build amazing stuff, you're kind of a coward if you don't bring it to the most amazing people and go, hey, what do you think of this? And that's what I did. I said, hey, guys, you busy? This is what we did. And I want to show you. And it does this. It does this. And what do you think of this? It was like, hey, this is crazy. It is? Cool. Okay. I have a couple more people on my list. I got to make sure that they also think it's cool. That's what this is. And I think a lot of it, you're right. I am minor league. And this is the time when I think I get to stand up with my friends and I'm going to write our name on the fucking wall. I'm going to write our name on the wall next to all the other big names that are on the wall. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, someone will come by and erase it. But this is the real game. So we built something that's Ford tough. That's why if there's it's like, hey, does this guy ever shut up? Nah, because I've thought of every fucking question that someone can hit us with, and I have 9 answers for it. I thought of every question that someone can hit us with. Hey, Kane, if you don't mind me asking, why this or why that? Or, hey, why'd you choose to do it this way or that way? There's no accidents over here. Everything's deliberate. Everything. And there's something that I think that everyone would like about it, unless, you know, rap is the devil and you're an on-chain maxi and I don't know. Unless you're not fun. If you're not fun, then I don't have nothing for you. And seriously, if you're so on-chain, the fact that there's like non-on Bitcoin stuff, you shouldn't buy it. Like, that's simple.
It's not for them, for sure.
Interesting. Well, Kane, we appreciate you for coming on the show. You know, I look forward to the mint of, you know, programmable music tied in with the metaverse on rare sats and everything that you've curated specifically, you know, to your preference and to things that mean the most. It's really cool to see builders in the space who are pursuing things much grander than just making the number go up. You know, it's refreshing at times. So I appreciate you for coming on. We love you as well, and that we've been in tune together for such a long time, and we'll continue to build together into 2025. So, man, appreciate it. As always.
You guys are the best.
Absolutely.
Is Chris the new face of Emblem Vault?
Yes,
he's taking over.
The good-looking guy in front, man. We got the good-looking guy. We got the fat old man in the back, as you called it, heavy and expensive. I think that's my new rap name. I'm gonna steal that from you, man. Heavy.
That's fly. You can do some Chicago drill with that. I do want to I want to take note to say that when the original face of Emblem Vault was out here showing that glorious mug, he didn't need to use all the filters and Photoshop and whatever's happening in Chris's PFP.
That's right. Got to keep it 100.
There's a lot of enhancements, like a Maxim cover with this fucking guy. If you're not proud of your face, don't
you
show it.
Put your best foot forward, bro. This is the new game, bro.
Nah, raw and uncut. That's the Emblem Vault way. You got to show us that. I want to see that shit in 4K.
Absolutely.
Show the stretch marks.
Absolutely. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you, Kane. As always, dude. I look forward to the mint. Again, yep. Just ping us as always. And yeah.
I'll send you guys the whitelist.
Yes, sir. Please do. Please do. And everyone who's in the crowd, thank you for listening to the conversation. We host a show Tuesday through Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. If you aren't already, please follow the Emblem account so you can see all of the cool things that we're doing into 2025, including Emblem 2.0, where we're expanding to every blockchain. So you could take your Rare Pepe to Solana, take your Spells of Genesis to Base, right? Take your Bitcoin Puppet down over to Blast so you can farm it. And all the cool interoperability there, as well as Emblem AI, which we're launching here in public pretty soon. It just entered the first ever Solana AI hackathon. It's essentially what Emblem does. It's a multi-chain wallet for AI agents, currently available on Solana and coming to Bitcoin, Ethereum, which we can actually add counterparty and ordinals in there, as Shannon always does work his magic, because we do love Bitcoin very much, because we are actually deploying keys on which are fungible token on Bitcoin, returning home after many, many years. So exciting times ahead. Appreciate everyone. Enjoy your Thursday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow or Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time.
Later, guys.
Later. Have a good weekend.